wrapped up in my sleeping bag, looking out the window at Erin's house as the sun is beginning to creep over the horizon. And the trees are silhouetted black against the emerging blue sky with the fading stars up in the sky. And I think to myself how much I hate Erin because he's got it fucking made with this fantastic house of his, this nice little piece of property tucked away out in the backwoods of South Dakota. God, I fucking hate him. I hope he dies. I hope he dies of syphilis. You piece of shit.
The Vlad Elkins and I were talking, and we have three great women in our lives. He has the candidate, I have the GF, and we both know and love his mother, Mrs. Elkins. And I was hanging out with the GF as I'm wont to do, and we came to the conclusion this is women's nature. There is no solution, but if you girls are aware of it, you can really get an advantage over other women in terms of attracting the guy you want, not to mention keeping the guy you want. And it's one of these things that's funny, haha, unless it goes unchecked. And then you have this man who wants to leave you and has an affair. Or here's a great analogy, right? Let me follow me in on this one, girls. I don't think you'll understand the point I'm trying to make here. All right. And then we'll go into the details. But I think this would be a good takeaway if you only got 3 minutes to listen. I had my health insurance canceled on me, not because of anything I did. The company, the health insurance company, they had the policy and they just ended that policy. They didn't offer it the next year. So unbeknownst to me, I did not have health insurance for the past 18 months. And I'm just, and it took me until I went through my taxes. I'm like, why don't I have, and where's the health insurance? Because this is a monthly, it should have come out of my account. And the reason I was not informed is not because they didn't inform me. I'm sure in the mail I got some letter, and I guarantee you I got an email. The problem is the insurance company floods my inbox and my regular post office box with a bunch of marketing and bullshit, right? If Verizon or T-Mobile or whoever you got, whatever, a payment didn't go through, those motherfuckers email you 3 times a day. And out of the 420 emails you're going to get in 6 months, there might be that one that's really important. And if you flood not just your man or anyone with the human brain with your mundane bullshit that no one cares about, people are going to tune you out and they're not going to listen. I got the best. I think I trained my woman the best, where we've had conversations. I'm like, you're not allowed to bore me. You can't be boring. I know it sounds very arrogant and cocky, but why should I be bored? I try not to bore people, right? I have a limited time on this planet. I do not want to spend any of it listening to a woman who is boring. That's called elementary school and all my English classes, listening to women who are boring, and it goes nowhere. And what you need to realize is, this is very key and important, is humans are other human beings. Male or female, doesn't matter. They are not there to serve you. They are not there to be your therapist and listen to you. They are not there to be pained by boring, uninteresting conversation. Your loved one should be entertained and tickled and sitting on the edge of their seat, listening to what you have to say, because you are interesting. What you are saying is of interest to the other person. Otherwise, it's just a boring sermon at church. An English teacher and Ben Stein, go watch Ferris Bueller's Day Off. It's Ben Stein in Ferris Bueller's Day Off talking about economics. Now, it never doesn't go away. It never goes away. I remember the GF, she flew off to the Twin Cities. I'm now in the Southern Command. I'm busy with shit. Locking up the house, set up security measures, whatever, all that stuff. Turn off the water, everything, right? Porches, make sure I got my keys. She's not the dumbest woman in the world either. And she's mothing about something that is not important and not interesting. You know how I knew it wasn't important or interesting? Because I wasn't listening to it. Aaron, the house is on fire. Oh shit. That's interesting. I'm interested in that. What lingerie outfit should I get? Yeah. Do you want to get some chocolate? Where should we get? You want to get dessert today? I like dessert. Honest to God, I can't remember what she was talking about because my brain, with its incredible 130 plus IQ, already has preliminary defensive measures up, mechanisms. So it turns off the rest of my brain so that when anyone bores me, I'm like, sorry, I went K through college. Teachers and professors have sucked out all my patience. I have no patience for boring shit anymore. Tuned it out, focusing on what? Things that are important, things that are germane. And then I talked to the Vlad Elkins. I said, oh, that was the other thing. Different, somewhat related, but different. What did she say? I'm 50 years old. I've paid for every fucking thing in my life. I am the most, aside from maybe Atham and Stefan Molyneux, I'm the most independent guy I know. Like of all I'm one of the most responsible adults I know. What the hell did she say? It was so stupid. It wasn't brush your teeth. My mom did that to me once when I was 36 years old. Did you brush your teeth? It wasn't that dumb, but it was something common sense like, make sure to turn off the lights. No fucking shit. It was that. It was that. And it shows you women, oh, you girls are just such precious little creatures. Thinking us 50-year-old men are little children who don't know to wipe their ass. It doesn't. I called Chad. I said, hey, does the candidate tell you whatever to turn off the water? I forgot what, flush the toilet, something like that. He was like, yeah. And I said, your ma does the same thing too, but you're her little baby boy, no matter how old you are. Oh yeah, my ma, yeah. And these are three pretty intelligent gals, Mrs. Elkins has a PhD. And oops, hope we're still live. Yeah, we always gotta have those. Let me know if I'm not live anymore. I bumped the wire. You don't want to dare bump this wire. It's inherent in all you girls. You just, no matter if the guy is a grizzled Iraqi, Afghani war vet, self-made billionaire, you're gonna, like I said, it's cute and enduring for a while, but if you don't check it, it will ruin a relationship. And if a guy has a choice between a gal who's just simply quiet, yeah, we all want the gal who's interesting and philosophical and all that. But if we got a choice between a woman who's quiet and one who, and this is what it is, nags. If you girls cannot nag and not be boring, you are going to have a much higher chance of getting the guy you want permanently and a much higher chance of keeping him around. Not even like, there's the two, is there another woman in my life? Well, that's probably because you got fat, to be honest. But why is he always hanging out with the guys? Because the guys are interesting. The guys, I've never had a guy in my life. Did you brush your teeth? No, Tim, I didn't. Thanks for reminding me. why go to play to the bar all the time and watches football with the guys? Probably because he hears you say, I don't know why you go to the bar all the time and hang out with the guys. And no one tells you, girls, this is why we have the Helping Women Out Hour, where we tell you the actual truth so that, the women's advice is, I know the women's, well, he should care about it because I find it interesting. No, no. They either find it interesting or they don't. And you got to realize that, right? Like I'm trying to think of something. I'm sure not everybody thinks economics is interesting. I do not bore my friends or loved ones with the world of economics unless they are actually interested. Why? Because I give a fuck about them and respect them as sovereign human beings. I don't want to bore them. I bet you guys in the comments, you get a choice. You get punched in the gut by your woman, right? So it isn't that hard. Or you got to listen to her drone on for an hour about bullshit. 1 for the punch in the gut, 0 for I will listen to the girl for an hour about bullshit. Watch it, lady. And I know they're going to, well, that's biased. You told them what to do. No. I would pay. I would get punched in the gut. I would go 1. I want to get punched in the gut. I do not want to sit there for another hour of my precious life listening to boring, irrelevant shit. So now we got that. Let's kind of go through why, how to check it, what to do. And I know, ladies, I don't like your attitude. Then this playlist is not for you. Please go be unhappy, fat, miserable, barren, unloved, like all the older women in your lives before you. So why is your husband not listening to you? There are 5 general reasons I could think of. There might be more, but these are the 5 main ones. So it's like, don't think before. God bless her. I got the girl trained where she, That means he ain't listening to you. When and she says, "Oh, you don't care, do you?" I'm like, "Nope." And then she stops. There you go. So 1, the reason your husband or boyfriend, whoever, is not listening to you is because whatever you're talking about is not of interest to him. That goes universally, right? If some things are interesting, some things are not. Some things are not interesting, but it's short and sweet. Like, oh, we got to get gas. Okay, cool. But if you go on, no, people, you are not owed an audience. People are not to sit and listen to you if what you're saying is not of interest to them. And here it's very important where you have simple respect for the existence of the consciousness and sentience of other human beings. That is a human being. And not only do they bleed when they cut and hurt when they get punched, they are pained when they are bored. Now, not all topics are interesting, yet they have to be talked about. Oh, family finances, or we buy a car. I get that. We're not talking about that. We are talking of things that maybe you find interesting, but he does not. And it helps right off the bat if you start hearing the and they're not following up with questions. I guarantee you, after you're done telling them what it was, they say, "Okay, what did I just say?" It'd be like, "I don't know." By the way, guys, you want some advice? Just be honest. I don't know. It's incredibly boring what you were talking about. No. Do I bore you with boring bullshit? No. And if I do, I want you to let me know. But the first thing why isn't he listening? Because what you're saying isn't interesting. Why isn't he listening? Because what you're saying isn't interesting. That's the answer. You could argue whether it's important topic or not, but that's why he's not listening. Whatever you're saying is not interest to him. Like happens the same way. When the guys I hang out with, they start talking about fucking football. Oh, fuck. You don't watch sports, do you? No. Well, you don't care. No, I don't. I really no. By all means, talk. I'm gonna go do something else. I'm not gonna sit here and listen to the Denver Broncos passed for 33 years. So, as with all relationships, realizing other people are sentient and some things like I don't force. I'm trying to think. I don't force my nieces and nephews to eat. I don't know what like when we go out, what do you kids want? Obviously ice cream, cake, whatever. We take them to Patrick's Pastries. I don't take them to the Brussels sprout farm. What do you want? So that would be number one. Whatever you're talking about isn't interesting. And if it isn't important, you should change the topic of conversation or just stop talking about it. 2, what you think is important is not because he's already figured it out, or frankly, it's just not that important. I don't know how many times the answer's already been, it's taken care of, whatever. Now, a lot of times this comes with you guys being a responsible man. Whatever. Did you get the oil change? Yes. What about the guy? You don't have to worry about this. You got a choice. Worry about it and harangue me about it, or he is a responsible adult and it's been taken care of. If it's something important, and just you should say, did you already take care of this? And be like, yeah, I did brush my teeth. Or sit down, everybody born in a first world nation with mom and dad paying for shit and everybody buying you things. Get to the Bill Burr quote, women are surrounded by this tornado of misinformation and nobody corrects them because they want to fuck them. Maybe what you think is important is just not that important. Becky and Trisha disrespecting you at your fucking barista job. Meanwhile, he's got to worry about got enough money in the 401k. What would be an interesting experiment is you take all the important things that weigh heavily on guy. Like, what are your most important concerns or fears or obligations? What are your main projects you got to work on? And you compare it to girls. Like, I don't even think it come close, to be perfectly honest. How did the Roman Empire collapse? I got to worry about we need food. We need freeze-dried food. We need to do this. You're a perfect example. Oh, I got to landscape I gotta grade the dirt and put some tarp down so the water drains away from the house. And then the girls are, what color should I get my nails? It's an extreme example, but you go, what color should I get my I have shit going on. The guy usually has shit going on. Unless he's a trust fund baby, then that's easy. Then he might, he's got nothing else going on. Sure. But if you're, there's an urgency, and he's not listening, it's probably because they already figured it out, or it just isn't that important. All right, 3, this is an important one. You are dragging him through your thought process to solve a problem or answer a question you have, which means you're outsourcing the labor of decisions to him. Okay? This is a subtle one. If there's maybe you just care what the guy likes. Like, hey, what nails should I get my color? Yeah, I'm not saying it's irrational you're telling these guys these things with number 1 and number 2. It's the severity or importance of it. So there's actually good intent on that. This is unconscious, and it's because all humans are lazy. This is why everyone after a while gets furious about what you want for dinner. Why am I like, what do you want for dinner? Ladies, just say Chinese food. Like, you got Chinese, Asian, or Italian, right? Listen to me very well. I don't care if you want Chinese, Asian, or Italian. Pick one of those 3, because your relationship's going to do a lot better. But what a lot of women will do is you will have probably a real problem or a real thing, a real issue that must be resolved. And then you take the duct tape, you tape it to the chair, probably more like Misery, the movie. You strap them down to the bed, and then you go through your minutia and microscopic, anal retentive, step by microscopic step detail of your decision-making process, checking to see what If you look at all labor's is it's constituted by two things: thought/decision, and then actual physical labor. How should I set up this Excel spreadsheet, right? Even if it's white collar labor, you guys sit and think about that. You got to spend your time and mental energy. Okay, how do I got to structure it. And then there's the actual labor of moving the mouse, typing in the keys, and creating your Excel spreadsheet. What should I make for dinner? Thinking about all that. And then the actual process of preparing the ingredients and cooking and preparing the dinner. Okay. Everyone focuses more on the physical labor. I made a spreadsheet. I cooked dinner. No one really thinks about the thought labor and the decision labor, but it still takes time and still takes energy. I had a client who was dating a cop, and she was upset that he wouldn't make decisions. I'm like, lady, that's his job. Oftentimes, life and death decisions. Just do him the fucking favor and don't even ask. You know what he likes? Make him the fucking food. Don't ask him. What do you want? When do you want to eat? You are dragging your man through the minutia of microscopic and unlimited decisions when this is not, frankly, his obligation. Unless he's cooking, then if he's the one who cooks, there's that. But any problems you got? Problem at work. Well, Becky and Trisha, blah, 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 but then I said, blah, 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 and then they didn't use the right beans in the ground. So what do you? Again, unless it's a really important family decision. Hey, should we move? Should we buy a house or continue to rent? Those are important conversations to have. But man, have I seen it. I just witnessed it where it was a female conversation where one female, an hour of time wasted of the recipient female's time, where that one was just like, well, what should I do? And I was such a stoic man. I just like, glad it ain't me. An hour of time gone. Because frankly, at the end of the day, you're too damn lazy to do your own thinking and make your own damn decision. You want to keep a man, maintain some autonomy. I don't mean in a feminist way, like, I don't need that. I don't mean, yeah. And of course, be your own person too. But I'm trying to think. I just do it. I don't go up to my woman. How much carb cleaner do you think I should put in a tank of motorcycle tank gas? Right? Well, I was thinking about doing this, but I don't know. And then, yeah, well, okay. It's sneaky, right? It's really sneaky because, you see someone there, you just want to talk to them. Like, well, here's the thing that's currently on my mind. Are you unconsciously outsourcing the labor of thought and decision-making? Especially, again, now you say, should I get the red platform heels with my nurse outfit, or should I get the white platform heels with the nurse outfit? Then you'll have the man's attention. You know why? Because it's interesting. But if it's like 98% of the stuff in the world that isn't interesting, is just day-to-day shit, manage your own fucking life, make your own fucking decisions, and don't bore them with that shit. Usually it's work. That's usually one is work. Okay. 4, you are telling him something he already knows. And I've done, yeah, I know. But, dude, it's like bridge out and the girls just drive right past it and even accelerate. Hey, we got to X. Yeah, I know. Well, because I don't need the because. I know we got to do X. It's a taken care of. Relax. Also helps if your girl's dated guy's got his shit together. But if you're telling him something he already knows, you are killing him partially. You are murdering him partially. He's got 78 years on this planet on average, and you are killing 5 minutes of him. 5 minutes of his life you murdered, telling him something he already knows. And he's like, yeah, I know. Oh, okay, cool. That's it. But what usually, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's you telling him something he already knows. And so you say, it's okay. Did you take care of this? Yeah. You already know this, right? Yeah. There we go. You're no longer the English, right? English teachers. Oh, get on a slow boat to China in Minecraft. That's all English teachers are, is telling you something you already know for years. Years. This is the subject. This is the verb. Now, if we do the dangly participle, we'll break us apart. Yeah, we know. See, it's there versus there. Yeah, we know. That's why nobody likes grammar Nazis. So if the second, yeah, right, you think, is he not listening to me? Do you already know this? And you got to take it care of then. There you go. And now we're done. And finally, this is more overall. And it's something to consider. And this is universal, both for men and women. Dale Carnegie. What you really ought to do is read the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. I'll tell you the story again. One of the best takeaways from that book is when he talks to the botanist. Dale Carnegie is at a party. There's a botanist. Dale Carnegie is curious about botany. How often do you meet a botanist, right? And so he ended up talking to the guy. And he just had a general curiosity, just sincere curiosity. Well, what is this? Why that? Where do you work? Right? Well, kind of like economists, the botanist was thrilled because no one asked him about his career or job. But Dale seemed to have a natural interest in botany. And so they talked for 3 hours about botany. Dale didn't say a fucking thing about himself. And then, I don't know, the host or whoever was hosting the party says, oh, I see you met Dale. And the guy says, this guy is great. He's amazing. He's a really swell guy. He doesn't know a thing about Dale because Dale never said anything about him. All Dale did was talk about what the guy wanted to talk about. And it's an important lesson to realize that there's another human being there. And a lot of times, you'll go a long way asking people about themselves. However, the irony is the guy didn't know Dale, right? It was a one-sided. Now they ended up becoming friends down the road, of course, but it was very one-sided at that moment in time. You've got to understand this kind of happens with you as well, because you girls, and the old quote from Bill Burr, women are surrounded by this tornado of misinformation, and nobody corrects them because they want to fuck them. You've been conditioned by other men to think that everything you say is interesting or important because they want to fuck you. Right? You could see it on Fresh and Fit or the whatever podcast and what is it? Access Vegas. These girls think they're fucking William F. Buckley Jr. on the McLaughlin Hour, thinking that what they say is important or insightful, and no one's correct them because they want to fuck them. I think that's a default setting, especially the prettier you are. And here, you may want to go read Dale Carnegie's book. If you're a pretty girl, you've always been a pretty girl, what you say, I guarantee you, is boring. It's not interesting. The only reason you think it is because every guy's like, oh my God, that's amazing. Oh my God, that's amazing. Which means, oh my God, shut up. I want to fuck you. Oh my God, shut up. I want to fuck you. That's it. So you have this misassessment. You overassess how interesting you are and how important what you say is important. You think everything you say is important because literally every guy's like, oh yeah, that's great. Oh wow, you're real smart. You're real, oh my God. Girlfriends almost have that same effect. Like, oh my God, you're brave and amazing. No, you're a truly average person. You got your degree in the liberal arts of the social sciences. You have student loan debt. You haven't paid it off. You don't understand how compound interest works. You got debt. You like to travel. You're as boring and common. You're not amazing. But oh my God, you're amazing. Like, well, you might be friendly. You might like each other very much as friends, but you're not amazing. You're not Socrates. You're not Stephen Hawking. You're not Elon Musk. You're probably very, very, very average. And what you think is important or interesting is not. It's common. Oh my God. Did you see what Cardi B did? Here's how to tell you were born. Here, listen to me. I'm gonna help you out. This is me telling you got bad breath, so you get the guy. This is me to help you stop smoking cigarettes so you don't get lung cancer. You're boring if you think astrology is a thing. Whether deep down inside you think it's a thing or not, if you talk about it like, oh my God, I'm a Virgo, and like, you're boring. Do you have a liberal arts degree? Do you have a social science degree? You're boring. Do you have like typical, like look at your dating profile or is it like everyone else's? You're boring. You're common. But because every guy in your youth wanted to fuck you, you got this delusional or overassessed valuation of the interest and value and entertainment of words coming out of your mouth. This does not mean you do not have thoughts. This does not mean you have interest or anything like that. But a lot, especially the younger gals, especially the prettier gals, if you're going into it thinking like, whatever comes out of my mouth is gold. No, it's shit. And guys just tolerate it because they want to fuck you. And so that's something more to be aware of, not very much, but you might want to say, would this be of interest to someone, especially the husband or the boyfriend that I want to keep? Or is it something he's heard a million times before? Is it interesting or is it popular? Is it unique? Is it entertaining? Or is it conformist and been said a billion times before? Like, oh my God, I hate Donald Trump. Yeah, okay. Not interesting, not unique, not edgy. But if you're like, well, I'm a chemical engineer and I made this new polymer that makes tires last longer. What, really? It's kind of cool. Wait, what tires should I look for? See, it's interesting. Why? Because you're fucking different from all the rest of the conformist broads. Oh my God, we just need more money for the children. I mean, we might as well look. I can have a better conversation with Muppet Atham right here. So, what you get the guy, right? You want to keep the guy. You want to keep him happy. You want to have, and maybe you also want to have interesting conversation. By the way, you could throw these rules at guys. If they're boring, you're like, honey, I don't care about the Green Bay Packers. You got every fucking right. Honey, I don't give a shit about your new Sig Sauer. Like, oh, okay, sorry, sweetheart. Hey, guys, don't get pissed off at them. They're not interested. Stop trying to feed them Brussels sprouts. Okay, so here's what men want in conversation. Conversation is very important because that's all a relationship is. Well, I mean, a romantic relationship would involve sex too. That's a different discussion. About all relationships, go get that book, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. All right. And it basically it's the same drive. And this will help in your social life, your career life, but especially your dating, love, romance life. All right. What men want in conversation is something that is important. Oh shit. The car has a flat. Little Jimmy went to the hospital. Becky came back from school and her teachers told her she's a boy and she wants to cut her junk off. That's pretty important. Unless you're a Minnesota father, then you're just like, whatever you want, sweetheart. By the way, ladies, if you want to be happy, don't marry a Minnesota man. Right? That it's important. We got to do something about it. Or there's an opportunity here, right? Hey, sweetheart, the interest rates just dropped below 3%. Maybe we ought to refinance the house. Cool. It's important. Let's do that. It will improve our lives and make our lives easier if we deal or take advantage of the situation now. Here's something that you get. that regular conversation you don't get with friends or colleagues or coworkers, something that is sexual, something that is fun, right? Do you flirt with your husband or your boy? Do you dress sexy? Do you spank him in his ass? Are you playful? Do you spar? Do you spar? Do you have a sense of humor with sexual innuendo? Like a default, you can always go to say, look at you, you piece of meat. Like it's not that hard. You got this default topic, right? With my nieces and nephews, I have a very simple default topic. Like, do you want to go to the playground and eat a ton of sugar and I give you money? Very simple. Very simple. Dogs, do you want to go to the dog park? We grab the ball and you go play ball. Of course they do. Do you want to get in the car? Not going anywhere. Just do you want to get in the car? Dog wagging his tail. Let's go in the car. All right. Men, it's the same thing. Mention sex. Oh, well, I don't know why you're married with the guy then. So, yeah, honey, try it. Don't believe me? Try it. Go to, well, you can't go to Yandy or what's the Karen lingerie? Victoria's Secrets. Don't go to Karen Christian lingerie. I think it's Foxy lingerie is the one that isn't got a bunch of fat, ugly women for models on it. Well, that's insult. Your husband doesn't want to see fat, ugly models. Say, hey, grab the laptop, switch it around. Which of these lingerie outfits do you like the most? Guarantee you're going to have a way more fun conversation than, did you shut off the water? Should I make carrots or Brussels sprouts for dinner tonight? Oh, it's a default. You can do it. Simple. Something that is philosophical. Things that make us say, Now, this doesn't have to be like some deep Greek philosophical thing. I'll give you an example if you want. Go research, look up conversations on the Yakuza Like a Dragon series. They have these weird little funny, or Seinfeld. Seinfeld was a philosophical show. They're talking about whatever, nonprofits, or should we go watch the marathon? How to make money using the postage service and collecting cans. All right. Is it interesting? Is it philosophical? Does the guy sit and think like it's a question that doesn't have an answer to it just yet? Your opinion might be different than mine. You might approach this differently than me. I find it curious how you would approach this situation. Right? Not, what do you want for dinner? Just tell you right now, after a while, you should know what he wants. Just fucking make it for him. And if he asks you, where do you want to go to eat? Spin the wheel in your head. Chinese. There it is. Even if you're not in the mood for China, trust me. Trust me. But then you could say, have you noticed all the PF Changs went to shit? Yeah, I wonder why that is. Yeah, I wonder if they were bought out by private equity. We should look it up. Oh my God, they were. Why does private equity do what it does? That's a way more interesting conversation than whatever it was you were doing this. And the guy's, yeah. Are you listening to me? Guys, your free advice. No. What? Because you're not interesting. What you're saying, you don't say that. Because what you're saying is not interesting right now. And it's not important. And that's it. That's it. And nobody likes hanging out with school teachers. Nobody liked going to school. Nobody liked English class. Nobody likes hanging out with boring, tedious people who dragged them through thought processes, anal retentive, microscopic decision-making, who is otherwise an intellectual chore and a bore to hang out with. But if you are interesting, like you have hobbies and things that are interesting and not common. I mean, if you like travel, don't not travel. Just don't talk about it. You're not unique. If you have interesting hobbies, interesting thoughts, interesting observations, unique. Hey, isn't that kind of weird over there? That is kind of weird. That dog, I wonder why that dog does that. You can have a conversation about a dog and its behaviors across the street for 2 hours. You always have your default option of being fun and sexy. You know, like which I don't know, which tiara should I get with this skimpy outfit? And then, ladies, here's something very important. It's very important, and you when you get older, the young men will figure this out when you get older. If it's none of those three things, guess what? Silence. When men say they want silence, it's not that they don't love you or don't want to hear your interesting things. It's just that you've probably flooded your relationship with such boring, tedium, and pointless conversation. They want silence. It's probably bad by this is where all you didn't check. You didn't check yourself. Now they're leaving. Now they're looking to hang out with the buddies. There's not a mistress. You're just boring. You're painful to talk to. They don't want to talk to you. That's bad. So instead of you like about nonsense, because whatever you can, no, be quiet. It's fine. I remember there was this one gal I was dating. She just kept talking and talking and talking. You could tell everyone. And I said, sweetheart. She's like, yeah. I said, stop talking. Guys like silence. We got our own lives. You have your own lives. I want to sit and, I don't know if you girls care, but men have to deal with a tremendous amount of shit like finances, war. Do we got enough food? Do I need solar panels? I better go winterize the vehicle, whatever. I got to pay for this. Oh, we're going to pay for that. Sometimes they want to go off in their la. Sometimes they're thinking of absolutely nothing and are just enjoying the peace and quiet. And if it isn't something positive or enjoyable or interesting, then be quiet. It's fine. And I never, when I was young, I didn't understand why does Uncle Herbert and why do they all want the women to be quiet? I don't get it. Why did Al Bundy tell Peg to shut up all the time? Because what you were saying wasn't interesting. It was nagging and boring and irrelevant and tedious. Don't be boring. Be interesting. Be fun. Be sexual. If it's important, be important. But otherwise, it's fine to be quiet. And just so you guys know, that is not their default firmware. It is you gotta install new drivers. And the best way I've ever heard, aside from I'm just honest, as you guys know, I'm just bluntly honest. And I've done that with women, and it's shocking. Well, there'll be an initial like they're hurt a little bit. And you're like, no, dude, I'm not a hostage audience for you to tell me about your boring shit at work. Do I do it to you? No, don't do it to me. Okay. The best, Vince over at Masculine Geeks. You get an egg timer. You put it wherever. 2 minutes. Because the girls they're not gonna be aware. They're just gonna think you're their personal therapist and you get to be their emotional tampon. And you have to listen to all this boring shit. You grab the egg timer. You got 2 minutes. Get it out. And then we're moving on to fun, happy, sexy talk. We're doing or just enjoying each other's company in the silence. That's fine. But I'm not your therapist. I'm not your emotional tampon. I'm not your BFF. I'm your husband. I'm your significant other. We fuck. We have fun. We joke. We flirt. We engage in sparring. You get 2 minutes to get this shit off your mind, and then it's gone. So for you guys, I'd recommend getting egg timers. Ladies, if you do that, right, you are going to have a much higher chance of keeping your man. You'll have a much happier relationship. There are these skills you develop, basically talking is cheap, silence is golden. These kind of rules, the Dale Carnegie stuff will definitely help you in other relationships, non-romantic, non-sexual relationships, work, friends, and all that. But in general, while you're on this planet, it's generally a good policy to live an interesting life, be an interesting person, and not waste people's time by boring them. And you go pretty far. I have no real dating products or Coach, I'm not going to do the coach. I mean, I guess you can always go to assholeconsulting.com and send me if you got a question unique to your situation. Closest things I got to help you girls out, like actually navigate the world of finances and dating and all that, would be how not to become a millennial, because that generation was told to make every mistake possible in the history of the world, so you can learn a lot from them. There's also the dad you never had, because I know everyone has a dad, but maybe your dad didn't stick around, or again, your dad is a Minnesota dad and he's there and not much else. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Worried and doesn't give you like, sweetheart, shut up. I had a friend, he had a daughter, and he really loved his daughter because he held her to standards. He did everything his daughter did was not amazing. She drew a crap drawing that kids do, and he looked at it and he's like, sweetheart, what is this? Actually, when like, come on, this isn't, you can do better than this. Like, this is kind of a low grade drawing. I mean, look at the drawing you did before. Don't you think? He kept pushing her. And you think, well, that's mean, that's cruel. No, that's love. That's love. Lying to your children, like, you're just the most, nothing's too good for daddy's little princess. Those people get fucked up later on in life because they're lied to. But yeah. Listen, man, don't bore people and be interesting. Oh, you're a monster. Okay. Be boring and hold people hostage to your boring conversation. If you want that, go be an English teacher. But yeah, the dad you never had, that's not a lot. There's some good dating advice in there, I guess, for girls, but it's a lot of finance, get your shit together type of stuff. Let's go to the super chats. I roll, therefore I am 5 Canadian. I used to find women fascinating to talk to. I also used to be a blue pill simp. I wonder if there's a correlation. Yeah, guys, what would help you down the road, especially to find a quality woman? Do you just want to have sex with her, or is she actually saying something interesting? And you're going to find that most people are dreadfully boring. Aaron Purdue, 10 generous dollars. To duck 80 in Wyoming, you use 40 a lot. That is a far southern route. What, you're not 70? Or you just don't like the Eisenhower? I'm not looking for more super chats. I'm just curious about the truck driving world. To duck 80 in Wyoming, you do 40? So I presume then that your delivery would be in the northern half. So you can go north at any time. 40 is preferable to 80, probably also preferable to 70 because you got to go over the Eisenhower Pass. So it just hit me with the pretty redhead. Cappy drooled over Reba McEntire in the 80s and 90s at 70 something. She's still Reba McEntire? No, really? Reba Mac. Which one is this? Oh yeah, she's all right. Yeah. I'm trying to remember of the other redhead country singers. I mean, for 70, she's got it going on. Her and Dolly Parton, God bless them. I like Dolly Parton. She was always just a fun-loving American woman. Marcus McKether, $2. I refuse to be a GDP slave for America. There you go. Hey, look here, Purdue. It's your buddy, Alex Patino, truck driving Latino, agent in the field. You guys should race sometime. Speaking of the pain in the ass, I just had a phone call from the company's safety officer because I got to pick up an oversized load. Must get permits because of the width, not weight because it's under 45,000 pounds. Okay, let's be fair about this, Alex. Doesn't that fall under the not interesting but really fucking important category? Like, you don't want to lose your load coming down some curve and wipe out some people, right? Aaron Purdue, $5. Alex is hauling Tufo sheds, and Reba is a blessed redhead with a southern accent. Go take a cold shower now. I'm not. She's too old for me. There hasn't been a lot of redheads. I'm like, oh my God, look at that guy. I haven't. There's been a dearth of redheads in American culture recently. Yeah, Sydney Sweeney. I mean, she's very attractive. Don't get me wrong, but she doesn't do the. It's not like Salma Hayek. Where like I will do this day. Yeah. Like if you said, Aaron, climb that mountain very tortuously, and Salma Hayek will sleep with you, I would. If you said climb that mountain and Sydney Sweeney will sleep with you, I'd be like, I get a coffee instead. The American Noble, $5. It's a double standard. You got to listen to her, but she doesn't have to listen to you. No, I think it goes the same way. I just think men are more naturally able to know when they're boring someone or not bore someone. You can't bore them either with your talk about whatever, the Minnesota Vikings or Caesar's great battles. If you eventually will use what you say against you or think you're weak, waste of time. No, I don't. You could tell them your problems occasionally. I got to be careful with that because of all my frustrations. But then I got to tell you, like, look, the reason I'm in a pissed off mood now is because of people, not you, everyone else out there. So I apologize if I'm busy. This is what I got on my plate. But I don't bore them with the details. Sash Wat Misra for 1,000 Korean wons, or is that yen? Single for 3 years, saving my shut the fuck ups. No, it honesty is for you young boys, if I could convey some information, and ladies too. Honesty is the best policy. If the girl's talking too much, say, dude, you need to stop talking so much. Like, really, man. Like, I don't care about this. Like, you're not angry at her or nothing. Like, why do you think I care about what Becky said to Trisha at your office? Right? Why do you need a therapist? Go talk to a therapist. I'm not your therapist. I'm not your best friend. I'm your man. We have fun. We spank each other the ass. We fuck and we do sexually, in a healthy relationship anyway. But where'd it go? There it is. You shouldn't have to say shut the fuck up. Don't say shut. Just say why stop. Early on. When that's why that egg timer is the greatest thing. Here, and I don't deal with boring talk. I don't do your decisions. I don't do your emotional labor. Like, okay, emotional decision labor. I don't do your decision labor. All right. When we hang out, we're having fun. Lord Scrumptious, $5. Problem is women do tell men they're boring, but men aren't allowed to reciprocate. It's high time this changes. Women, you're boring. Shut up. Are they boring though? Like, this is obviously an individual case. I met many interesting women. Most of them not, though. I'll be honest. Most of the dates I was on, I'll tell you this right now. Most of the dates, no joke. The coffee date is the greatest thing because you're going to find out quick if she wants to talk to you or if you got chemistry and da-da-da. Or if you're going to be stuck. There's nothing worse than going on a date in the 90s where you'd be entertaining a woman for 2 hours to get her to laugh or say something. They're just not that interested, and they're not that interesting. Hat and Clogs. How do you do, Cappy? Hello, Cat Hat. Lord Scrumptious again for $2. Cappy likes the redhead from Firefly. Yeah, Saffron. She was all right. I'll know when I see it. She was too pixie, pasty redhead. You know what I'm saying? Just not. I was like, yeah, you. I mean, nothing against the actress, just not my cup of tea. Clay Tonic Nuts, 10 generous dollars. Off topic. TYVM cap, your book, Bachelor Pad Economics, car paid off, max HSA, max 403B, max IRA. Where have all the good men gone? See, I'll show you something that's interesting that would normally otherwise seem like a boring topic. Well, let me give you ladies an example. Clay's very interesting in this one regard. He might suck and be boring in every other regard, but in this interesting, how'd he get here? Right? Retirement funds are boring, but this guy's got it all down. How did he max his HSA? How did he max his 403B? He's got an IRA on top of it. You're like, whoa, what? He went through a process. You girls call it a journey, but that just means you took some credit card money and went off and like, oh my God, I'm on my journey. No, this guy buckled down, saved money. Like, what was the philosophical impetus behind this for you to really get your finances together? Index funds, crypto, no debt besides mortgage, raised $155,000 a year. There's a story. How did you make $155,000, right? There's a lot of this is an interesting conversation about what would otherwise be a boring topic. Early retirement on the wage years. Outstanding, Clayton. Or Clay Tonic Nuts. Is it Clayton No, it's got to be Clay Tonic Nuts, not Clayton Icknuts. Well, congratulate. I'm very happy for you. Glad you got a nice, good life going on. There you guys go. Questions, answers, assholeconsulting.com. We'll see you girls later. Toodles.